Hello, I'm VJ Karana. Welcome to My Australia, the show about people from overseas having Australian experiences. Here's what's coming up. David explores the magnificence of Uluru, Salome goes to an adventure park, and Jingjing visits an oyster farm. Uluru is one of the most spectacular places in Australia. Let's join David as he takes a look and finds out about what it means to the local Indigenous people.
My name is David Deruzu. I was born in Dili, East Timor, which is the capital of East Timor. We came to Australia because I was awarded Australian Development Scholarship to pursue my tertiary degree doing Bachelor of Humanitarian and Community Studies. Being able to go outside and travel out of Timor, seeing the big picture of the world is very exciting. How are you going today? We live with my cousins, and that's what makes us feel like we're home away from home. Darwin is pretty much the same like Dili in terms of the weather, the culture, the food that we eat. We have a big Timorese community here that is very supportive. They're willing to help us. Today I'm doing my first long road trip. From Alice Springs to Uluru is about 450 k's. This was my first time coming out to the outback since 3 years being in Australia. So I didn't know much about what I expected to see. It's very different to where I come from because Timor is such a small island and it's very mountainous. My first stop was at Jim's place. I had to refuel my car. Surprisingly, when I went to pay, I looked on the wall and it says Dinky, the singing dingo. So I went to talk to the owner.
Yeah, great to meet you. Oh boy, this is your greatest day out here in the centre.
You've got to tell me about it.
He's world famous. Do not touch the dingo. Right, he'll come up on the piano. What I'm going to do is make a noise.
Oh my God. That was a real surprise. I got some pictures and some video to show my friends and my families. They wouldn't believe it. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, when I looked on the map before I made a trip, I thought it was going to be a short trip. But the trip itself actually gave me an idea of how massive this continent is. I've just been in a long drop and I don't want to go there again. No, I got to see a lot of things that I never saw before. Camels, dingoes, emus, rabbits, kangaroos. So that was pretty good. It was such a long way driving. It was 7 hours from Alice Springs to Uluru. Look at that. That is magnificent. I'm coming. To see it with your very own eyes is just something that is, I always wanted to do. I felt amazed by the number of people that actually turned up to watch the sunrise. Excuse me, would you want to take me a photo?
Yeah, sure. 3, 2, 1.
I thought there wouldn't be that many people. No, that's fine. I'm dark anyway. And the view itself is just spectacular. Yay! Here comes the sun. It's probably one of the most spectacular things that I've ever witnessed. Yeah, my plan of driving from Alice Springs to Uluru was to climb up the rock. No, we don't climb. But as soon as I got here, I got to learn that climbing the rock is actually not recommended. And I was surprised because that's actually one of the expectations that I had in mind. I went straight to the information centre and met Vanessa, who's one of the rangers.
The Ununu have lived here for tens of thousands of years and have practiced their culture over that time. There are a lot of strong associations with their spiritual beliefs around Uluru. And so
I had no knowledge at all about the cultural thing around the rock and the Aboriginal people before I came down here. So is it climbing the rock considered as something that is disrespectful?
So Ununu do prefer people not to climb the rock. They don't climb themselves. They would prefer people to take the other opportunities that are available in the park. So to learn about the culture, go on the walks, visit the beautiful waterholes and show respect through not climbing on the rock because it is very spiritually significant to them.
When I walked around it, I was surprised because there are a lot of caves, there are a lot of plants growing up on the rock. See, look at that. It's a heart shape up there. Just to see the beauty around the rock itself, the sacred sites that Indigenous people believe, the wildlife around that you can actually see while you're walking around the rock, it's just beautiful. I can feel the rock. It's cold. Well, before, when I learned about the rock through internet, it was just pretty much like a tourist spot, and that's about it. But in fact, when I came down here myself and get to see it and get to touch it and get to feel it, it makes me appreciate more. Well, actually, there are a lot of things that you can learn about Aboriginal culture. There's a cultural centre. It's got a lot of things that you can observe and you can read, and also you can talk to the local people. The traditional landowners are great people. They're very friendly, and I get to learn a lot by talking to them. The only thing about these people are that they're not really confident in front of cameras and they don't want to be filming and taking photos. This was the first time that I had to travel this long without my family. It hasn't been easy. I always miss them. They're the most important people in my life. We are going back home in 2 weeks' time. So this is really the chance for me to actually sit back and reflect what I've done, what we've done as a family, but also what I've done as a student, as a father. What I've learned is to accept the person who you are, to be tolerant and accept the difference that exists in this world. This trip really means a lot. Being able to come out from the life of the city in Darwin and come out here in the outback and being able to come to such an iconic place like Uluru is just amazing, you know, and what else could I wish for? It really is an experience of a lifetime.
Great stuff, David. Now, when I was a kid, I loved adventure parks, especially water slides. Salome is taking her family and some friends to a park I love. Let's take a look.
My name is Salome. I'm from the Solomon Islands. I was a very adventurous child when I was growing up. I've got 4 children, so I've got children between 8 and 3 years old. It was one of my dreams come true to study in Australia. I really want to experience life in Australia, and truly, it's been a remarkable experience studying here. People are really nice. We decided to come to Wollongong, Australia. It's about an hour and a half south of Sydney. I am studying Masters in Professional Accounting at the University of Wollongong. There's a lot of trees, a lot of plants around. There are times when I wanted to go to the Botanic Garden, which is just across the road from uni, It really motivates me too. The secret about meeting people in Australia is you have to be very open. You just give them a smile, they give you back a smile, and then you just talk. Well, we're going to Jamberoo tomorrow, and I'm really excited about going there, taking my whole family. It has lots of water slides. The boys are very excited. They just can't wait to do all the rides.
We're hoping to have lots of fun. We're looking forward to introducing the theme park. We've been before, but Salome and family haven't been before. We first met Salome because she started coming to our church. We've connected a few times at church gatherings, and then more recently I've been helping and having Virginia come and play with Emily so that Salome can get some university study done.
And when someone spoke to her and knew she was from the Solomon Islands and knew I had been to the Solomon Islands, they thought, oh, Robin must talk to her. We've sort of taken them under our wing, and she calls me her Aussie mum now. I feel real proud to be Salome's Aussie mum and Auntie Rob to all the kids. And when people come to Australia, we like to make them feel welcome and at home and show them some of our good things. So when they go home to their country, they can tell people, well, the Aussie people aren't too bad, they're good.
It started off scary, but then we had fun. Ray wanted to go really speed, so we went so speed.
It was awesome.
I'm looking forward to having to go on the blue ride, which is the real fast one at the end of the day. So, you know, the other track too.
No, excited.
I've been looking forward to this one.
Come on, bring it on. In your face when I'm looking at you going, oh, yeah.
Oh gosh, that was scary, but a lot of fun. Yeah, good.
Gets you going, doesn't it?
Oh, very
unbelievable.
scary.
The lazy river was actually fun because it's more relaxing. You just lay back on the rubber boats and just the water just go nice and slow.
We had a nice relaxing time, didn't we, Emmy? Emmy nearly fell asleep sitting on me, didn't you? Was it good?
At the end, Daddy fell off his thing. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, it was real terrific, and you know, especially when people bump into you and you tip you over, and then they push you under the waterfall. You know, I wasn't going to get my hair wet, but you know, it's wet.
After lunch, we were at the surf hill. It's actually very high. My first turn was really scary. I didn't really know what to do. And yeah, I'm actually scared of heights, so it was one of a challenge for me. But then the second one was really good. I had great fun. I knew what to do, so yeah, I did well and I enjoyed it.
You've got to jump at the right time, and I've got to beat my 7-year-old son as well. It's very important. Then we went to Splash Out.
I think that was actually fun to see Salome give that one a go because I think she was a bit anxious about that. So the fact that we got her on it 2 times was good, and they seemed to enjoy it at the end. So yes, yeah, a good fun water slide and not too deep at the end. So they were confident because a lot of them don't swim. So that's a bit sort of challenging for them, obviously, when you're in unknown waters in depth and things like that.
You right?
Oh, it was pretty scary, but I wanna have another go.
It's been interesting for me to appreciate some of the differences in opportunities that are available in Australia as opposed to the Solomon Islands. I think just understanding a little bit more about where Salome and Frank have come from.
A lot of the islanders, people and that, they don't learn to swim. They don't have pools to swim in. They don't have swimming lessons.
I guess that we're incredibly blessed that we can come and enjoy something like this. And for us, again, as Australians, we can access these sorts of things a little bit more readily.
One of the things after today is that I'd be interested to go to the Solomon Islands and visit and perhaps help out in some small way.
Yeah, we've had a great day, yep. And again, a really good opportunity to spend time with our new friends as well and to meet new friends too.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the day with my family, along with my family friends. Yeah, so much. Great.
For me, I think it was seeing Salome and Frank and the children having fun, doing something they've never done before.
It's one of the best experiences I've had in my whole life. It's something that I will always remember. It's like bringing back my childhood days, you know, having fun like a child. An experience I will never forget.
Salome and her family having stacks of fun at Jamberoo Action Park. Now, I know they're not for everyone, but I am a big fan of oysters. Let's find out what people here think about those slippery, salty treats.
Do you like oysters?
I haven't tried them.
Why? How come? How come you've never tried an oyster?
They're an aphrodisiac and I don't want to eat them alone.
No, not a fan of seafood.
No, I don't. They're also very intimidating to me. They're very slimy and yeah.
Yes, love oysters. I work at a seafood restaurant. We have fresh oysters like all the time.
Yes. Yes, I like oyster.
I just don't like the taste. They're too slimy.
Yeah.
Yes, love them. Why?
Because they're delicious.
And kind of gross at the same time.
Yeah, that's right. They're slippery and slimy. It doesn't appeal to me just swallowing something. Yeah. I can eat oysters Kilpatrick, but it seems as if you have to add a lot of things to it to make them delectable.
Nah.
I look at them, they're not pretty, so I can't eat them.
I love all seafood. I don't know what it is. I love oysters, fish, prawns.
No, I'm vegetarian.
I like oysters a lot. Yeah, generally they're good for your libido, I heard, so.
I don't mind them.
I like oysters.
Oh, certainly. I'm a big fan of oysters. Michelle, however, I'm slowly getting her onto them, so.
I keep trying them, still getting over the mental barrier.
I love oysters. It's an aphrodisiac.
Well, Jingjing has never tasted an oyster, but she's about to spend the day at an oyster farm. Check it out.
My name is Jingjing, and I come from a small country town in Jiangxi province. There are 4 people in my family. My parents and my brother and me. Now I have been here for just 8 months or 9 months, and I just try to grab every opportunity I see to try to fit in the society as far as possible and try to learn more about Australia. I'm studying in the Uni of Adelaide in mechanical engineering. At the beginning, because I didn't know anybody here, I make some friends with random people, like on the bus, or on the street, or in the library, something like that. And I also do some volunteering job. In the volunteering jobs, I meet lots of people from like all kinds of backgrounds. I'm having a lot of fun in Australia, so it makes me very happy. Now I'm in Port Lincoln. I'm going to farm oysters with some farmers in the ocean. I really feel excited about that because I have never tried that before.
Welcome aboard, Jingjing.
Hello, thank you. Yeah, it's a nice day, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Should be a good one. My wife and I started Pure Coffin Bay Oysters about 10 years ago. We moved down from Streaky Bay. We were oyster farmers up there, and we've moved to Coffin Bay And since then, we've gone from strength to strength. So we're here. This is the oyster farm.
Yep.
We'll scrape them off because we can't put these bags on with the barnacles there. Oyster farming is quite a manual job. There is planning involved as well, but a lot of the work involves manual labour and jumping into cool water in winter, and so we have seasonal benefits where in summertime it's quite nice and very enjoyable out on the water, and in wintertime we're in and out as quick as we can, get a load on board and back to the shed.
Yeah, I used to think you use net to catch oysters.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so I don't understand how oyster goes into the cage. So it will come in automatically.
They swim in.
Seriously?
In the wild.
But, like,
No, they don't.
Yeah. When we try the oysters in restaurant, we just have no idea about the whole process. When we arrived this morning, I was thinking it must be very similar to farm fish, but actually it's quite different. Because I saw they bought the specks, little tiny specks, and basically they grow it in the ocean. And some may take several years from a little speck to become a big oysters. And yeah, it's much more difficult than I expected. It's a very complicated process.
So when the tide goes out now, by having them up high, they'll actually spend time out of the water during the day.
Yeah.
And if we put them down low, they spend more time in the water. So if we want them to grow a bit more, it's more time when they're younger, we can put them down a bit. But when we want to harden them up and make them do their exercise every day, so they close their shell, we bring them up. See that muscle?
This one looks good, right?
See that muscle there?
Yeah.
That's the abductor muscle. That's what I was talking about, making them do their exercise. See how that's nice and big now?
More, yeah.
That's because they've come in and out of the water every day, and he's had to close his shell and hold his shell closed while there's no water there. Okay? Yeah. So then once you've done
that... When Chris asked me to try one oyster, I did want to try, because when I look at him to try the oyster, wow, I think, oh, he enjoys a lot. That must be very yummy.
There you go.
Wow.
Do you eat them?
Without cooking.
Without cooking? Do you eat them?
No.
No? Are you ever going to try one? This is the time.
Okay.
You want to try it? Give it a go. Just...
Seriously?
Yeah.
Can I have this one?
You don't have to.
Yeah, but... Do you eat like a...
Yeah, I'll show you.
Yeah. Yummy?
Mmm.
Oh no. I don't eat
beautiful.
Raw food.
You don't eat raw food?
No, never.
Ooh, he's still kicking for it.
Oh, that's why you are so tall, right?
That's right. You want to be tall?
Very salty and
too salty.
Yeah. It's very salty and a little bit bitter, and yeah, a little bit disgusting. So I can't help throwing it up.
Hey, Jingjing, now this is oysters. See how these oysters are too full? Yeah. Now what we have to do is take them back into the shed, put them through the grate, and we'll bring them out, and they'll only be yay full. So they've been out here about 3 months now. They've grown in the bag. We bought them out. They were like this. Now they've grown. There's too many sheep in the paddock in there. They can't all get fat.
Yeah,
so
I understand.
Now we have to take them, grade them into their sizes, thin them out, and we'll bring them back out tomorrow, okay?
Wow. Steal away. So what we should do next?
All right, you can give me a hand to unload the boat, mate.
Okay.
Take these units here and just tip them gently into there.
Like this one?
Yeah, just hold him up from the bottom.
Yeah.
Pick him up like that.
And
just gently give it a shake. Well, this should come out. That's it.
I think they are very smart people. They invent those washing machines and the grading machines by themselves, which can make their jobs much easier. Yeah, And I'm learning mechanical engineering. I'm not sure if I can do it after I graduate.
And take that one out, and that just...
I think today I know more about Australian battles. Before I came here, my friends told me something about that. It's like Australian farmers are like a big foundation of the whole country. And the other thing is that they are very humorous. It's also a part of Australian culture. Before I came here, I have little knowledge about farming job in Australia and the whole process to farm oysters. The customer is dying of hunger if we're hungry. I had a great day today. I'm really glad I come here and do this oyster tour.
You've done a good job. Well done.
Thanks.
That's Jingjing, learning all about how those delicious oysters make it onto our plates. That's it for this episode of My Australia. If you like the show, join the conversation on our Facebook page. Here's what's coming up next week. Natsumi spends the day with a vet, Jay learns how to brew beer, and Priya visits the Australian Parliament. See you then.